Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live. There we go. Put you guys in the center. My computer. I'm kind of a mess. I don't have it all together today. And I can't find the article we were reading from. So that's messing me up a little bit too, because I don't remember what the article was. Oh, I found it. It was under Wellness Wednesday. Hello. So today we're talking about grief. And we're talking about the very last stage, which is common misconceptions. What's this one? It extends to 5 core strengths of grief to 7 overlapping stages. Okay. So let's see. Acceptance. We did denial. Okay, so today is going to be acceptance, I believe. Denial and anger we did. We did bargaining because I wasn't sure what that was, and depression. And we're going to do acceptance. Hi, Emily. How are you? Welcome. Today we're talking about acceptance, grieving and acceptance. It's the final stage. And then we're going to talk about the updated 7 stages of grief. So how are you doing today? I am going to be going into surgery tomorrow on St. Patrick's Day. Hey, Tracy, welcome. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing good. Oh, and tomorrow is your live, right? Yes, Miss Jamie's here too. She's not feeling well today, so I know she can hear us. She's just in the background. Hey, Frugal Mama. How are you doing today? We're talking about acceptance and grief. This is the final stage of the 5 stages of grief, but we had talked a little bit in here that now they've updated it and there are 7. So we're going to hit on that a little bit after we talk about acceptance because it's not like a huge topic. Yeah, what they do go into is other stages of grief. And I just found it. So there's no awesome photos to post. So it's just going to be me today. Hey, Zach, how are you doing today? Frugal Mama says, I'm okay. Thank you. I'm glad you're feeling okay. I'm doing good today, too. I got surgery tomorrow. And I think I'm more anxious than I think I am. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, I was like, I'm still okay. I'm like, but I think once I get actually in the hospital, I'll be a little freaked out. But I think I'm more anxious than I think I am. If that made any sense to anybody, let me know. Oh, I see that you said, hi, beautiful Crystal, Zach. So hello, handsome Zach. How are you today? There's Miss Jamie. We're so glad to see you, Jamie. Okie dokie. I'm going to shut that off. That just means get your butt ready for Wellness Wednesday. That's been going on for a little while here. Thank you, Frugal Mama. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't know how else to put it. I'm acting more anxious than I feel that I am. That's the only way I can put it. So, if anyone else understands how I feel, Jamie says, don't forget to give our host, oh, thank you, Jamie, a thumbs up. Yes, I truly, truly appreciate that. Thank you, Jamie. I always forget that. Do you guys remember that in your lives? I always remember it when I'm in the comments because I always go and thumbs up, or someone will say thumbs up and then I'll go thumbs up. But when I'm on the actual live, I don't remember that. Zach burped. Zach, you are a comic relief here for sure. Do you guys like my headband for St. Patrick's Day? I won't be wearing it to the hospital. I don't think it's considered sanitary. Tracy says never. Let's see. Yeah, so you probably can hear my kitty. He wants to go outside so bad, and he's not going to get to go outside unsupervised until he gets his microchip. So, hi, Rosalie. Rosalie Green Blogs, welcome. Tracy said, love it. Thank you, Tracy. I do too. Look at how cute it is and fuzzy. I can't stand it, how cute it is. Rosalie says, how are you? I'm doing pretty good today. I have a surgery tomorrow, and I've talked about it. So, yeah, everybody probably is tired of hearing about it. Zach says it was a quiet burp. See, Crystal didn't even hear it. Rosalie Green, you're from Tennessee? That's awesome. Hey, Sabrina. How are you doing? I spilled the coffees on my shirt. I'm going to show you guys my shirt because I love it. It says, I told my therapist, my mom got me this for Christmas. I told my therapist about you. I love it. Jamie says, hello, beautiful people in chat. And Rosalie says, hope for a fast recovery. Thank you, Rosalie. Me too. I'm hoping that it's not longer than the 10 weeks. They tell me it is, because I'm ready to go back to work. I know that sounds weird, but I kind of miss being an electrician. I miss it. Sabrina's laughing. I love it. I love it. And it's funny that my mom got it for me because I definitely told my therapist about her. Rosalie says she had hers for 1 week. Rosalie, what did you have for 1 week? Here's the link to Crystal's channel if you want to see the rest of the people in chat. Yes, if you need to come over. Thank you, Jamie. Hey, Mr. J. How are you doing? Welcome. Welcome. Let me take these off a little bit here. No, why do I take them off? I can't read the comments. Because I know I'm blinding you guys. If I don't look up, I think I'm okay. But that's just the screen. But if I look, you can see my lights are high. I got them up high. Gallbladder. Oh, okay. For 1 week, that's all. And the next 3 months, my ovary. Excuse me. So I'm hoping it's only going to be the 2.5 months. I really don't want to go into the 12 weeks, but they say that if you're diabetic, you heal slower, and they won't let me take any vitamins. You can't take vitamins before, but after I can take all my vitamins, and I think that'll help with the healing too. Mr. J says, I'm doing okay. That's good, Mr. J. Did you have anything you wanted to talk about before we start talking about acceptance and grief? By the way, Tracy said yes. Awesome, Jamie. Yay. Tracy's going to be in our new Friends collab. Yay. Awesome, Tracy. Awesome. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. I have a lot going on. I haven't done too much regular uploading. Just, just me being me. Mr. J said, hello, Zach. How's your mom? Yes. How's your mom? Me too, Tracy. I can't wait to see your video and all the stuff about you. I'm excited. And tomorrow is your live, correct, Tracy, at 4 p.m. Eastern. Rosalie says, I'm here too. Rosalie, I'm going to have to check out your channel unless you've changed your channel name because I think you're new here. Am I wrong? Zach says she's doing good. Tired from my brother and I too, and from work. I'm glad she's doing good. Tracy says correct. So tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, she's going to be doing a live for her 200th video that she has posted. And she's going to be giving away a bunch of stuff. And it's international because she's in Ireland. So she's going to be sending gifts to everybody around the world. So it'll be exciting. If you get a chance, look her up tomorrow. And you see her channel is Palettes, Pouts, Perfumes, and Panning. Mr. J said not much to talk about. Alrighty, Mr. J. I'm glad you're here. YouTube. You should say driving. You should say driving. What do you mean, Zach? You should say driving. Shout out also here. Yes, Rosalie. Shout out to the chat. Shout out. That's pretty cool, Rosalie said. I play guitar also. That's awesome. That is so awesome. That's probably a really good outlet for you too. Creativity is always an awesome outlet. Can someone post her link so I can see if I'm her family member on here? Zach said, Miss Jamie, if you could post her link. I think a bunch of people want to go check her out. Rosalie has an upcoming event playing guitar and ukuleles. Well, that sounds fun. That sounds fun with a guest. So have you been here before, Rosalie? Because I don't recognize you. Mm-hmm. Let me go into the chat on my phone so I can make some mods. Okay. If I don't already. They are breaking into the safe. Okay, home. My channel. Here we are. Let's make sure I got some mods in here so we don't have Rosalie says first time. Welcome. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Yep. We have some mods in here just in case. I appreciate all you moderators. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. J. Thank you, Mr. J. I appreciate that. I can use all the good vibes you guys can send because I don't know. I of course, I'm going to be nervous. Who isn't nervous when they go into surgery? Duh. But I was saying earlier, Mr. J, that I think I'm more nervous than I think I really am. Does that make sense? I know it did earlier, but like I don't feel nervous, but I know that physically I am anxious. You know, like I don't feel it in my brain yet. It's like in the subconscious. I know tomorrow it's going to hit me. And I'm going to do my best to vlog anything I can on my way to the hospital, if they'll let me in the hospital. I'm going to have my phone in my room because I think I'm staying a night. My mom said she stayed 3 nights, so I'm hoping I don't have to stay that long. So, yeah, that will stink. But one night would be awesome to see how well a robot does surgeries. Yes, me too. Jamie said, I wish a robot did mine. I know. Okay, let's get into the article. So acceptance is the last one. Hey, Sally Green TV, how are you? Let's see. Did she post palettes links? I think she did. Oh, no. If you get a chance, Jamie, can you put Tracy's link up, please? She's got a live tomorrow at 4:30. So if you're available, we're going to drop her link. Okay, let's start with acceptance. So we've been talking about all the stages of grieving. And since we're wrapping it up, I'm just going to go back over them. The ones that we started with, the 5 stages of grieving. Now they've updated it to 7, so we're going to look at those other 2 at the end of the video. There it is. No problem, Zach. We don't mind. Hi, Sally. A robot does make things go faster. That's my hope, and I hope it looks better. Like, I've seen my mom has a huge scar right down the middle of her knee. It's got to be, I want to say it's at least 12 inches long. It goes from the top of her knee all the way to the bottom. So I'm hoping that mine will look better. And I don't, because she's not sure if they used a robot. She doesn't know. So I'm like, well, okay. She had hers done like 10. What did my sister say? 55. And I'm 52. Whoa. I don't know. More than 10 years ago. So, okay. So the 5 stages that we started with are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Today, we're going to talk about acceptance. Jamie says, I had a rough start today, but feeling better. Thank you. How are you, Mr. J? Okay, so what is acceptance? Because I'm learning these stages as we go along, because I'm not really self-aware when it comes to grief, I think. Reaching acceptance isn't necessarily about being okay with what happened. Depending on your experience, it might be understandable if you don't ever feel this way. Don't ever feel okay. Sorry, guys, I got like a tickle. Get my water. Since it's warmed up here, of course, my allergies are going crazy. I love the weather. I love the warm weather, but my allergies are... Okay. Acceptance is more about how you acknowledge the losses you've experienced, how you learn to live with them, and how you readjust your life accordingly. I am so sorry, you guys. I've been alone all day, so I've only been talking to the cats. I think maybe this is just too much on my... I'm going to mute for a second. I know that's... Oh, Zach's got Tracy now. That's awesome. So I'm going to mute just for a second. Okay, everybody, I'm back. There's Frugal Mama's link too. They do a live today at 4 o'clock, her and Busy Mama. It's called Conversing with the Mamas, and it's an awesome live. I'm going to have to go today and look at houses. We are going to have to move. And so I will be watching the replay for sure. Frugal Mama. I love the live that they have. It's awesome. So if you get a chance to go over there at 4, please do visit. Please do. Sabrina said, rough start to the day here too, Jamie. I literally did not sleep even 5 minutes last night. Going to have to nap this afternoon. Absolutely, Sabrina. Absolutely. 5 minutes is, yeah, you're gonna, yeah, take that nap. Take that 4-hour nap if you need it. My husband sometimes takes those. If I missed anyone, please let me know. Frugal Mama said, no worries. I know. I love the replay, though. I just chat it all up. Tracy said, thank you, Zach. I hope this stops eventually, guys. Okay. So acceptance is more about how you acknowledge the losses you've experienced, how you learn to live with them, and how you readjust your life accordingly. Okay. So it's not like, oh, I'm fine and dandy with so and so passed away, my niece, because I'm not. But I can, let's acknowledge the losses I've experienced and learn to live with them and readjust your life accordingly without that person in your life. Excuse me. Mr. J said, hey, Frugal and Sabrina. Welcome everybody to the chat. Welcome. Oh, and if you haven't seen it, look at the headband. It's so cute. I know that's a funny face, Crystal. Funny face. It's like floofy like a duck. Rosalie said, have to pick up my kids at the school. Thank you for dropping in, Rosalie. Have a great day. We appreciate you. Let's see. So you might feel more comfortable reaching out to friends and family during this stage. Okay. But it is also natural to feel you prefer to withdraw at times. So no one's 100% all good or 100% not good. It sounds like when you accept it, you're through the bargaining and the anger and the denial, and you're like, it did happen, and how will I deal with it? So Jamie sent a comment to Sabrina. I'm gonna let them have that chat. So, and Rosalie says, yes, love it. Thank you, Rosalie. Let's see. You might feel more comfortable reaching out to friends and family during this stage. And you may prefer to withdraw at times. Okay. You may also feel like you accept the loss at times and then move to another stage of grief again. So you could move to a different stage of grief throughout your grieving process or throughout your life because of the loss. Back and forth between stages is natural and a part of the healing process. This is making sense to me because I'm like, when you hit acceptance, are you just like hunky dory? I didn't know what acceptance was. And I'm like, will you ever just be like, hey, I'm awesome. Let's chat about my niece and I won't cry or be upset? That's not going to happen. Let's see. And you can go back and forth between stages. That's interesting to me because I think that's what I'm doing. I thought I accepted it, and then I kind of jumped back and forth to denial, acceptance, denial, acceptance. It's time. In time, you may find yourself stationed at this stage for long periods of time. That doesn't mean you'll never feel sadness or anger again towards your loss, but your long-term perspective about it and how you live with this reality will be different. So let's talk about acceptance. And I have a big no from Tracy. Let me know what that's about. Let me know. Have you been through this? And if you have, tell me what happened. Oops, sorry, guys. My cat is on my couch. That's why I told you guys I got a new chair. That's why I look so tall now. And he's on my couch back there, knocking all my makeup off that I put on my couch. No slides. No slides. I couldn't find it. Right. Never hunky dory. Yes. Yes. I don't think that will ever happen with my niece. I don't. I think, I can't remember what I said. It's not like it never goes away, the grief, but you learn to live with it. I think that quote from the lady, and I talked about it last week on the news, but that's what I'm getting from this is it's not that you're not going to grieve that person or miss that person or be sad about your loss. It's that you're going to be able to function better daily. Yeah, and not hunky dory. You know, you're never going to be like, "Oh, it's cool. I'm fine." No. Mm-mm. No, not someone that you're that close to. You're going to miss. And I miss my grandma all the time too. We do talk about her now, so I want to say that with my grandma, she passed away 5 years ago, maybe. I think that my family has gone to acceptance because we can talk about her and not break down totally. I think it depends on what we're talking about though, but like I miss this about grandma, or she used to do this. She was always cooking. So whenever somebody makes something, they call it grandma's chicken and sliders or grandma's potato salad, or you know what I mean? So, and we honor her that way by making those things and talking about her. But with my niece, it's still very fresh. It's still very fresh because my sister has a lot of difficulty. It's not even a year yet. I don't push her on those issues because I know that it hurts her. It hurts her more than it hurts me, and it hurts me a lot. Yeah, Jamie, I didn't do my slides this morning, and I was in that doggone chat. Yeah, I was in that chat for a collab, and I went a whole minute without coughing. Yeah, so like I said, and the anniversary, the first year is coming up, and I don't think anybody's gonna take that very well. I don't. So yeah. Let's see. Now the seven, now it says other possible stages of grief. The adaptation, and we talked about this last year, the Kubler-Ross method has been updated, and the Dr. Kubler-Ross has added stuff to it. It extends to from 5 core stages of grief to 7 overlapping stages. And a lot of these are, even though they're not called the same thing, are around the same type of a thing. Like it's like they took those 7 categories and they broke a couple of them down even further, like anger, this type of anger, or denial. They broke them down even further because they're more specific. Like they were very general terms to begin with, right? Like anger. Hello, there's all types of anger. You can be angry at yourself, at someone else. You can be angry at the person who passed away. You can be angry at that person's stuff because you got to go through it. You know what I mean? There's all different types. And they broke it down a little more. So we're going to just quickly hit those today. It's just about 2:00. So we have plenty of time if you guys have anything you want to put down in the chat. Like, if you're not wanting to talk about your grief, maybe put, if you're grieving, what stage you might be in. Um, and yeah, for my niece, I'm not sure. I I I'm not sure because I told you I didn't even know I was grieving her. I kind of like put it on hold. So I have been through the bargaining stage. And like I said, the depression stage, I mean, that is a mental state of mind for me. With my medication, it is better, but the acceptance, I don't know if I'm in the acceptance because it's still difficult to let's see. I will keep reading it, but I think I'm going to mute notifications because it's constantly peeping and it'll mess up my video. Agreed, Jamie, agreed. People say it gets easier. It really doesn't. And I don't think easier is a good word. You learn to live with it. And that's going to come in stages as well. You're still living, you still have the grief, and you deal with it how you deal with it. You know what I mean, Zach? And I don't think it's easier. It's, what did that lady say? It never goes away. You just learn to live with it. So you learn to live yourself. And grieve at the same time is what I'm thinking. I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, please throw them out there because I don't know. Well, of course, I'm not a doctor or a therapist, and I don't know a lot about grieving. We did this little series because I didn't know anything about it, and I wanted to find out, what am I doing? What's going on? I mean, it would just hit me out of nowhere. I would start crying, and I couldn't figure out what it was. But now that we've talked about grieving and I've come to the realization that I am still grieving her, the loss of her, my niece, that I haven't been as quick to become, I call it verklempt, but to tear up and to start crying. But I agree, Zach. It doesn't get easier. You learn to live with it better. You learn to cope better without that person in your life. And it's never going to be perfect. You may be able to cope a little bit. You may be able to cope a lot. I cry sometimes still, and it's been 8 years in April. Absolutely. I do too, Zach. I just don't, like, I was crying every time I mentioned it. I'm not doing that now that I've realized it, but I still cry. I still miss her tons. And if I don't talk about it a lot, like now I'm talking about her, it's starting to make me a little bit more sensitive. But if I just mention her in passing, I don't usually get upset. So I don't think you're never, you may come to the point where you don't cry as much, but you're always going to miss that person. That person was a huge part of your life. So I believe I'm always going to miss her, but my hope is that my family will come together and be stronger and that we can honor her in the future. Not forget about her and not talk about her, because that's where we're at right now, the denial stage. But we can talk about her and remember her in a good way and still love her and her family. No, it really doesn't get easier, Jamie says. Seems like time is moving around me, but not for me. I couldn't believe when I was adding the years, and September will be 5 years. I was like, no way. It like flew by, right? Because I can't even believe it's been a year. It'll be a year here in May. Zach says he misses his grandma also. Me too, Zach. I was very close with my grandma. I used to take her shopping, and I was laid off for a period in 2008. I was laid off several times at the steel mill. So when I was laid off, I would go visit her all the time and take her wherever she wanted to go. If she just wanted to watch TV, I would sit with her and watch TV and things. So I was really close to her. It hit me hard when she passed away. I knew she was not doing well, her health, but it really, I was in denial until she actually passed away. I know that. So and I think it's like I was telling you, I thought that my I wasn't grieving her the loss of my niece, but it was still in the back of my head. And now, like, her birthday passed and I was okay. I was trying to be strong for her mom. Her mom wanted to talk a little bit about it, and I didn't want to be breaking down. Leanne Boger. Jamie says, I still want to call him when I have something happen. I know. Yeah. Hello, madam. Good night. Good night. Is it good day? And did I say, is it Leanne? Leanne? I would say Leanne. So welcome. So yes, I don't think it's going to go away. And maybe that's a good thing, because you don't want to forget that person. You want to always remember them and honor them. Zach says, My one grandma died unexpectedly. They found her in a ball on her bed at 3 a.m. and took her to the hospital. That same morning, she passed away. Yeah, my grandma got taken by ambulance to the hospital, and just a few days later, she passed away. It says Jamie HHWARU. I think that's Jamie. How are you? Is this your first time here, Leon? I don't think I recognize you from our Wellness Wednesdays. Today we're talking about grief. I just put that up before I went live. I noticed when I was looking at myself on the screen that it was missing. So I put it up, and there's a reason it fell the first time. It wasn't very good. So that's what just happened. I have one little lucky little guy. That's all I got. One. So thank you very much, Leanne. It really means a lot. How are you? Okay, let's go over the 7 stages of grief for the Kubler-Ross. They called it the Kubler-Ross method. Let's see what they call the 7 other possible stages. The 5 stages of grief proposed by Kubler-Ross have served as a framework for many mental health professionals working with the grief process. I think that's a general, like we said, very general. The five are, and it says some of these professionals have developed their own work around the emotional responses to loss. Others, including Kubler-Ross herself, have adapted and extended the original 5-stage model. The adaptation is usually known as Kubler-Ross change curve. It extends to 5 core stages of grief. It extends the 5 core stages of grief to 7 overlapping stages. Yes, she did amend it. She did amend it and extend it. I miss my grandpa too. I still have his recliner. It's broken, but it's coming with me to Indiana. I don't care. Right? There are things like I still have her I think I said my grandma's. Do you remember the blanket with sleeves, you guys? Was it called a Snuggie? What was it called? A blanket with sleeves. My sister got her one for Christmas and she loved it. And when she passed away, I got it. And then recently, my niece wanted it and I gave it to her. So she was just remembering. I think she was just remembering her. She called her granny, her great grandma, and just felt like that would make her closer, which I agree. Liam, we are friends now. Jamie is okay. I come. Leon, yes, it's okay that you're here. I was just asking if it's your first time, and we welcome you. No worries, Leon. No worries. Okay, so we're going to go to the 7 stages of grief. The Kubler-Ross change curve, because she changed it. Number 1, instead of denial, is shock. Intense and sometimes paralyzing surprise at the loss. And I definitely felt like that. They called me, "Hey, Adrian, how are you?" They called me at work about my niece, and I just was like, I turned into like a vegetable, like a zombie, like, okay, I have to leave work and go to my sister and my niece, which is my sister has 2 daughters. So the one passed away and the other one is grieving as well. So it was definitely shock. Shock was a part of just first hearing about it. Adrian, we're talking about denial. Today, we're just kind of wrapping up. We've been talking about it, I think, for 3 or 4 weeks. Not denial. I'm sorry. Grief. We're talking about grief. because I wasn't really clear on it. So I wanted to address it for myself and then for everybody else. Adrian says, hi, everyone. Hope everyone is good. I hope you're doing good today too, Adrian. It's good to see you. The second one, they have, did I say what shock was? Intense and sometimes paralyzing surprise at loss. Denial is number 2. Disbelief at the need to look for evidence to confirm the loss. Yes. And that one for me lasts longer. That one for me, yeah, I know that. Hey, Adrienne, welcome. Most of the chat is on Crystal's channel if you can join us. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. Number 3 is anger and frustration. Instead of just anger, it's anger and frustration. A mix between acknowledgement that some things have changed and anger towards this change. Absolutely. They're gone. Angry at them, angry at yourself, angry at everybody. Angry. Let's see. The link is a little up in this chat. Thanks, ma'am. Is it okay? Complete, ma'am. I still grieve for my brother, lost him in 2003. We were just talking about that, Adrian, that the acceptance part, it doesn't mean that you're fine. Hunky-dory was a word I use, or you're okay with it. Acceptance means that you learn to live with it in any way that you can. Zach, quit it, Zach. Are you drinking pop? What is making you burp all the time? Jamie says, definitely, Leanne, we are happy to meet you. Yes, we are happy to meet you. But yeah, Adrian, the last one, acceptance, we talked about earlier in this video. It's not that you stop grieving, it's that you start living your life with that. You know, you're living your life and you're still going through stages of grief. Some of them, you know, and they even said you can go back and forth, like from anger to acceptance to denial to, you know, any of the stages. So there's not really an order anymore either. Let's see. Lean says, I am very happy. Yeah, we're glad to have you, Lean. So glad. And Zach said, the pop is making me burp. I can't lie. I see. Stop drinking that pop. Bad for you. All those chemicals. Okay. A mix between acknowledgement that some things have changed and anger towards this change. That's anger and frustration. Number 4, lack of energy and intense sadness. And like I said, I don't know if I get that. Because like I said, I know depression and I'm on my meds. Like I said, I'm not super depressed, but it's not unusual for me to have the lack of energy and intense sadness just because of my chemical imbalance. Yes, Crystal, I probably won't stop drinking it though. Of course. But I still have to reprimand you because I'm a grandma, so I gotta tell you. Although my grandkids are, 13, and lower. So let's see. So depression. So I didn't really notice that, but I'm sure I went through that. Number 5 is testing, experimenting with a new situation to discover what it actually means in your life. I don't know exactly. We didn't have testing. So experimenting with the new situation to discover what it actually means in your life. Maybe they'll go into detail lower in the article because it doesn't I don't know what that means. If you know what testing means, let us know in the chat. Me either, Zach. Love my Coca-Cola. Yes. I can't speak, because I do love my wine. So I just don't drink it every day. Let's see. So the next one, number 6, is decision. a rising optimism about learning how to manage the new situation. And when they say the new situation, I believe that the situation is the loss of your loved one. Adrian said, okay, jumped on your channel. It wasn't until 2022 I decided to not let it bring me down, or 2020, I'm sorry, so low. That's great, Adrian. That's great. That's a hard decision to make as well, especially if you are depressed. It's no joke trying to come out of depression. Well, for me, it takes medication, therapy, and my husband helps as well. So I come from, I'm not sure what that flag is. I believe it's a different I believe it's a different country, Leon. Can you write what country your flag is from? Jamie says Coca-Cola versus diabetes. Who will win? I want to say the diabetes, but I'm not trying to be a downer. I'm already a downer with the grief. So my hair is sticking out a little bit right here. For the surgery, they give you this special soap, and you have to take 3 days before you have to take a shower every night. And you have to get rid of, have clean sheets, and you have to keep all the animals out of your bed. Anybody with pets in here know how impossible that is? Zach loves Coca-Cola too. If I have a pop, I do enjoy a Coca-Cola. Yeah, but I don't drink pop maybe twice a month. Maybe. I'm sorry, I am bad at social studies. Which flag is that? Right. I don't know which flag it is either. So we did testing, decision, a rising optimist about learning how to manage the new situation. That's number 6. And let me get this right here because my phone's about to die. So that makes sense. A rising optimism that learning how to manage the new situation. That you're learning how to live without that person in your life, and you have optimism or hope about it. You're not like, I'm never ever going to be able to live without that person. Adrian says the cat won't stay off my bed. I know. My older girl, she's going to be 22 this year. She lives on my pillow. And when I go to sleep, she sleeps like towards the wall, towards the headboard of the bed. But we're going to try tonight. Tonight's the last night before the surgery. So we're going to try to keep the pets out. But some of them, like my one dog, can bust the door open because it's just a regular knob. And the cat will scratch at the door, so we won't be able to sleep. So we'll see how that goes, and I will report back. Have Cheatable View. Hi, Patrick. Patrick's going to be in our new collab too, Tracy. Tracy's going to be in there too. Palettes, panning, perfume, and I don't remember. I'm sorry, Tracy. The 4 Ps. She's going to be in it. So that's the Poland flag. Awesome. Thank you. Leon says, thanks much. Vidit on my channel. Good luck. Thank you, Leon. Appreciate that. Okay. It must be like a translator, right, guys? Okay, number 7. Integration. Acceptance of the new reality, reflection on what you learned, and stepping out into the world as a renewed person. Wow, I thought acceptance was weird. This one is, I don't know. Integration, acceptance of a new reality, of your new situation without your loved one, reflection on what you learned, maybe about yourself through the grieving process, and stepping out in the world as a renewed person. That's a lot. The cheetah sleeps on my bed. See, my panthers, they sleep at the foot. We have a bed full of animals. Then one dog stays in the living room because she likes to get up in the covers and she don't want nobody to bother her. But my one dog sleeps next to my husband. So he's basically sandwich. Dog, cats by the feet, And then by my head is my 22-year-old cat, 20-year-old cat. She doesn't get around real well. She stays up there most of the day unless she's hungry or has to use the bathroom or get water. So she still comes down a couple times a day, but mostly she stays in the bed because it's nice and soft and cushiony. So, yeah. So integration, I'm not sure about that. Shock denial. Let's see. Common misconceptions about grieving. Let's go to the next part of the. Because everyone mourns differently and for different reasons. Sometimes you might feel your own grieving process isn't going according to the norm. But remember, there's no such thing as a right or wrong way of coping with loss. Agreed. There's no right way and there's no wrong way. You cope the way you cope. That's us as humans. You have to cope every day with things. You have to cope with the annoying checkout person. You have to cope with that you got bad news in the mail or in an email, or you know what I mean. So let's see. Ways of coping. These might be some of the thoughts that could cross your mind when looking at your own or someone else's way of grieving. Now, I don't see how you can, well, you can look at someone else's way of grieving, but you can't know how they're feeling. You can't know if they're in denial or acceptance unless they tell you, right? So I don't get that part. But on we go. Let's see. I go to rest because midnight in Indonesia. See you again next time. Bye. Crystal, it's at 4:35. Oh, I got a couple more subscribers. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie. She's so awesome. She's my cheerleader. And what's Miss Jamie at today? Drop your number, Jamie. Number 1, am I doing it wrong? One of the most common misconceptions about grieving is that everyone goes through it the same way. When it comes to healing from a loss, there's no correct way of doing it. Right. So we've established that. Everyone's grief, everyone here who has any type of grief, you grieve the way you grieve, whether it's written down or it's not. Only 65. All right, Patrick. I hope we can bump you up there. Bump Patrick up. If anyone in here hasn't seen Patrick yet, or Jamie, please go and subscribe. They are awesome. You're going to love them. Only 65 till 500. You are going to get there. You are going to get there. Oh, wait. You're talking about me, Patrick. You're already at 500. I'm sorry. I have 65. Then we're going to bump you up anyways in the clap. Sorry. Sometimes Crystal, sometimes I'm just Crystal. Patrick says some wounds never heal. Right. Everyone's grief is different levels, different reasons. So there's no correct way of doing it. I agree. Like I didn't even know. So I'm glad we addressed it because now I'm aware. And it's for me, and I'm sure everybody's not like this. My personality, no, you boosting you. Thank you, Patrick. Patrick's almost at 600. Yes. He does the best interviews. If you guys love interview channels, check him out. He does the best interviews. Zach said, I need to cut out the pop. I burnt again. Yes. Unless you just come to the live so you can tell us that you burped. You're our comic relief, Zach. What did I say? Okay, no, we know that there's no correct way. You're gonna grieve how you're gonna grieve. That's for sure. You might find it useful to remind yourself there's no I should be feeling this way. I think that can be very helpful because we don't control our feelings. At least I can't. I can stuff them down subconsciously, but I can't control them because, like I said, you don't even realize it, and you're talking about something, and all of a sudden you just start getting, teary or upset, and you don't know why. No, I'm here for you, Crystal, to support you. Thank you, Zach. Thank you. Interviewing Mariah Owen tonight. And I believe 8 p.m. Tell us if it's 8 p.m., Patrick. And Jamie, if you want to, if you got a minute and you've got Patrick's link, could you drop that for anybody who might want to go check him out tonight? I will be getting ready for surgery, Patrick. So hopefully, while I can't walk, I'll be catching up on all my YouTube videos. So let's see. Grieving isn't about going over or following a set list of steps. It's a unique and multi-dimensional healing journey. Healing journey, 8 p.m. EST. Awesome. So I like the words healing journey. It's any way that you get through it to get to healing, I think. And all of us are going to do it in different ways. Adrian says certain songs come on and you just cry. Absolutely, Adrian. And it brings that person to your mind. And you may not always realize it. It just happens. And then after it happens, you're like, Patrick says, sending light and healing to you, Crystal. Thank you so much, Patrick. I am accepting all the healing everyone's sending me because I want to heal as quickly as I can and get back to work. Oh, Jamie dropped Patrick's link. If anybody wants to check him out tonight and his interview, there he is right there tonight at 8. Mariah Owen. He does like movie people, actors, actresses, producers, directors. He even does some of the people that do the FX makeup, which I love. Those are my favorite. And he says, thank you, Jamie. Okay. Number 2, I should be feeling. That's the thing. Like, it's been a year. I should be feeling better. It's been 10 years. I should be feeling better. Let's find out about that. Not everyone experiences all the above mentioned stages or even goes through these emotions the same way. Agreed. Let's see. Zach says, Happy by Pharrell Williams. Makes me tear up because it reminds me of my brother. Yes. And that's an awesome song, Zach. If it brings him to your mind and you do tear up, I think that that's part of the healing process. Just like Adrian said, some songs just make you cry. And hopefully it's a good cry. It's a feel the feelings cry, and hopefully it's helpful. Jamie dropped Adrian's link as well. If you guys don't know Adrian, go check her out. Let's see. Not everyone experiences them. Okay, the emotions the same way. For example, maybe the depression stage feels more like irritability than sadness for you. And denial could be more of a sense of shock and disbelief than an actual expectation that something out of the blue will fix the loss. Yes. And there's even more than that out of denial. There are many, many more ways to be in denial. We know that. We've talked about that. So Cheetah says, or Have Cheetah Will View says, Eye of the Tiger. I remember that song. I love your channel name in your video link, Adrian. I see it. Thank you, Jamie. I'll be adding new videos. Awesome, Adrian. Awesome. The emotions used to contextualize the stages of grief aren't the only ones you'll experience. You might not even experience them all, and that's natural too. So say you didn't go into denial. That's fine. It's not like you're required. It's a what do I want to say? It's a spectrum. I think that grief is a spectrum, because if it wasn't, you couldn't go from 5 stages to 7 stages. So, and it may end up being more stages. the next time this doctor does more research and sees more stuff, and you know what I mean? I think it's a spectrum. Um, let's see. There is no indication that your healing journey is faulty in some way. So don't feel like you're not grieving properly, or you're not healing properly, or I shouldn't have these feelings, because that's not true. Or because that's not, I don't want to say not true, but that's not your experience. You know, everybody's going to grieve differently. Let's see. Okay, there's no indication that your healing journey is faulty in some way. Your healing experience is unique to you and valid nonetheless. Absolutely. Absolutely. This has been very helpful to me. I don't know if you guys have enjoyed it, but I have learned a lot just talking about grief specifically, and all the stages. So let's see. Oh, my kitty left. Number 4, it's taking too long. Coping with loss is ultimately a deeply personal and singular experience. Many factors affect how long it takes. Some people navigate through grief in a few days. See, I thought I had done that. I did not. Others take months or longer to process their loss. You might find it useful to not set any deadlines to your process. In grief, you'll experience some of these emotions in waves of intensity. In time, you'll notice this intensity decrease. We did talk about waves. It hits you in waves of grief. Like I said, you hear a song, you get a wave of whatever emotion, depression, or any of the above that we've talked about. So it's taking too long. If anybody says that to you, please feel free. I'm giving you permission, like I'm anybody. Smack them or poke them in the eye. It's taking too long. You don't know how long it's going to take for me to get over this. And it's absolutely not your business or your right to tell me that I'm taking too long. So let's see. The next one is I'm depressed. Going through the stages of grief, particularly the depression stage, is not equivalent to clinical depression. There's a distinction between having clinical depression and grieving. And I don't know what the distinction is. I really don't. So let's see. For example, it says okay. This means that even though some symptoms might be similar, there are still key differences between both. For example, in grief, the intense sadness will lessen in intensity and frequency as time goes by. You might even experience the sadness at the same time you find relief in happy memories from times before the loss. In clinical depression, on the other hand, without the proper treatment, and I am treated for clinical depression, your mood would stay negative or worsen with time. It will likely affect your self-esteem. You may rarely experience feelings of pleasure or happiness. So they're saying in the grief process, depression is different than clinical depression. And I have clinical depression. I know some people don't like labels. I don't mind. I'm one of those people, when I get words to describe something, it helps me. I know a lot of people aren't like that. Adrian says, I hate people that say you're going to get over it. Right? I do too, Adrian. They don't understand. I think sometimes I think it's ignorance. And if they're really mean about it, like I said, poke them in the eye. Do it. I said you could do it, so do it. So I couldn't tell if I was in the depression stage of grief because I have clinical depression, which is helped by therapy and medication. That doesn't mean there isn't a possibility you could develop clinical depression during the grieving process. If your emotions progressively increase in intensity and frequency, reach out for support. So if you don't have any type of relief, hi, you're home already? Oh, sorry, my husband's home. That's early. You're early. I'm still on the live. I got about half an hour. I don't know how many times I heard you need to deal with it and move on. Yeah, I understand dealing with it, but you're not going to move on. You just dealing with it is going through the process. So when people say that, that's not what they mean. Deal with it and move on. That's just mean. Yup. Right, Jamie? Adrian says. Zach said, I hate when people tell me that too, Adrian. Yes. Because you don't know me. You don't know my struggle, if I have one or not. You don't know how my brain works because it's not your brain. And you don't know how what you say, something like that, is going to affect me. And so you shouldn't say it. Just don't say it. If you don't know what to say, just tell them you're here for them, you love them, and that's it. Hey, Bootsy, how are you doing? Are you at work today? I know you're usually at work. Welcome. We're just going over some stuff about grief that we've been talking about. Today, we're wrapping it up pretty much. So, when you reach out for help, if you're experiencing intense grief and feel unsure about how to cope with it, reaching out for help can provide comfort and support. Any reason that's valid to you is a good reason for reaching out for help. Other instances in which you might want to seek help processing your loss include the following. So I'm going to go over those in just a second. But yes, in here, talking to each other is very helpful. If you feel like it's not helping, then perhaps a therapist. And again, it's hard to find a good one. I know. You have to keep on keeping on. If you know what I mean? If that therapist doesn't work for you in a couple sessions, move on. Because in my experience, the good ones you can tell when they care. The good ones you can tell. If you need medication, as in my case, a good psychiatrist is also hard to find. So yeah, it's really hard to recommend doctors unless you live in my area. But yeah, you just got to keep trying. I know it's like I've tried and I just want to give up. I understand that. I think that if you let that feeling pass, like I think it's not worth it. Once you're able to say, I need help, and I know that didn't work for me, but I'm going to keep trying. That's where you want to get to. I'm because I didn't stop trying. I didn't stop, but I understand how easy it is, or how frustrating it can be with a bad doctor. I've had bad doctors before. I have had bad psychiatrists, bad therapists. I've been through 5 therapists. I have one now that I have her number and I call her, and I've been through probably that many psychiatrists at least. And I mean going there, getting prescribed medication not working, maybe trying another one, not working, and then just being frustrated and not going to them anymore. It's very easy to do. It's very. Jamie says he was like my twin, my other half. My heart literally died with him. I honestly believe that's when my congestive heart failure started, when he died. Aw, Jamie. Hello, beautiful Bootsy. Do you mind if I ask who you are speaking about? And Adrian says, I lost a piece of my heart too, Jamie, because I pretty much raised him. Right, Adrian? When you're close to someone, that's when it hits you hardest, I think. Let's talk about other instances you might want to seek help. You need to go back to school or work and are having a hard time going about your daily tasks. that's what happened to me. I was off um for several months going through therapists. I want to say like 3 or 4 months. And then I found a good therapist then. And then what always happens, like with a good hairdresser, they move, they get a bigger practice, or they go to another state, or, or they just quit practicing. So you have to find another one. Um, let's see. But that's what happened. I've been through a good 5 or 6. Like I said, I know for sure 5, could be more than that. Psychiatrists and therapists. And sometimes when you find a good one, like I said, they're not always there when you need them. You know what I mean? They, like I said, retire. They go back to school or move, and all the reasons. All the reasons. Let's see. You're the sole or main guardian or support source for someone else. For example, you are a single parent or someone else's caretaker. This could be a good reason. Other instances in which you might want to seek help processing your loss. Because in my family, like, my niece had 2 children. So in order to help them to get through the grieving process, my mom and my sister needed to go through the grieving process. They needed to get help. They needed to get help for themselves and help for how to talk to the kids. So my sister did reach out, and she did do that. And that's, I think that's one way, if you're a caregiver, that you can help the people you're caring for, is by caring for yourself. Let's see. Jamie said 4.5 years ago, my soulmate took his kids home from football practice, got into an argument with his ex-wife, and the cops found his body 150 feet from her house. Bootsy said, I understand now. Thank you for sharing. Yes. And this is a place, if you need to share, please do. We're not going to put this all over the internet. Well, it's on YouTube, but the people in the chat here are very supportive and will support you in any way that we can. Let's see. Yes, Adrian said. Jamie said, thank you for asking. It helps to speak about him. Yes. Yes, I know speaking about the person sometimes really does help to get that out, Let's see. Another reason to seek help would be you're experiencing physical discomfort or pain. We talked about that, how depression and anxiety could cause a physical issue. Your mental health can affect your physical health in some ways. So we've talked about that before. You're skipping meals or medication because you don't feel like getting up or doing anything. I can speak to that. Anybody here? Patrick said I eat too much. I do too. I love sugar, and I'm not supposed to have a lot of sugar, so yeah. This is all from depression. I don't mean to make light of that, but yes. You're skipping meals. Okay. Your emotions are increasing in intensity and frequency instead of coming in waves or lessening over time. That would be a reason to reach out for help as well. And the last one is very serious. You thought about hurting others or yourself. Please, 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 if that happens, please reach out to someone. I know that several people in the chat would gladly talk to you. Go to their channels, and if they have an email on there or a way for you to contact them, do so. And these are just great people here. They will help you through it, myself included. And just know that you're not alone. Please know that. If you've thought of hurting others or yourself, We definitely don't want that. And we're here to support you. Bootsy says, I love carbs. I know. Hey, Brandy, how are you doing today? She says, hey, all beautiful people. Welcome. Welcome. We're talking about grief, and acceptance was today's. When my brother first passed, Zach said, I thought of killing myself, but I didn't, and I'm still here. And we are glad. We are glad you're here, Zach, and that you can share your story with us. Patrick says, depressed, get a cat. I agree. My kittens help so much. If I'm just, blah. Sometimes I just feel blah. And one of them will get up on me. They like a baby. They put their head up here and they'll sit on me and I'll hold them like a baby. And just hugging them and petting them helps a lot. I mean, if you don't like animals, I understand, but it helps so much. And when they're kittens, they're so cute. And I still remember how cute they were, even though they're big. So Brandy says, been putting things in the right place. Brandy just got moved to Oklahoma. So we totally understand having to put things away. Yep. I was telling everybody that today we're going to go look at some houses, some alternatives for us, because we did work with the mortgage company, but they don't think that we'll be able to keep our house. So Jamie said, hello, beautiful Brandy. And take your time putting those things in the right place, because I lose stuff all the time because I think it's in a different spot. So don't do that. They did say what happened to him, Jamie. Oh, Adrian said, did they say what happened to him, Jamie? Hi, Christine. How are you doing today? We're wrapping up our grief. We've been talking about grief for about 3-4 weeks. So we're wrapping that up today. And we were talking about the 7 stages just now. And just if anyone has any questions or any comments, or if you'd like to tell your story in the chat, feel free. Feel free to do so. Thank you, Patrick. We still love Monroe. We're still going to stay here, but I was really worried. I have 2 dogs and 3 cats. And I'm like, who's going to rent a house to us? But we're going to look. We have to look. We're going to look, and hopefully things will work out well for us. Because I won't be back to work until June, and the mortgage company didn't want to wait that long. I don't know. So, and I heard that in our area that houses are up. The value of houses are up. So we're doing a short sale. We're not getting foreclosed on. So thank God for that. The mortgage company, Wells Fargo, is going to work with us through this short sale. And hopefully they'll give us some help in moving too. Yes, Christine, I remember you talking about that too. We have to move too. My surgery's tomorrow, and I've told them that I'll be back to work in June. Once everything's all healed up, I intend to go back to work unless something happens and I can't. But I don't think they take that into consideration when they're reviewing your mortgage. And the reason they reviewed it is because we've been on a COVID relief, something that they have for the last year. And so now they want to give us the big house payment back again. So, yeah, I know Christine has to move too, but you did find something. Yours was a little different. I think you said it was your the people who rent the apartment to you. You had to move out because of them. Zach says hi. Jamie says hi. Holy crap. Christine says, I'm so sorry. I know. When we first started this journey with the mortgage company, I was so upset. But I had to eventually, give it to God. I can't, I have no control over the mortgage company. So, yeah. Bootsy says I'm on that too. Like a whatever for COVID, some type of a thing. Brandy says prayers for everyone who's struggling with depression and anxiety. Thank you, Brandy. We appreciate that. And Christine says, hi, Zach. Hey, Zach. Yeah, so that could be one of the reasons why I don't think I'm as anxious as I really am. It could be part of that, too, as well as the surgery coming up. My work got really slow. My husband was carrying almost everything. I had to start back my mortgage next month, and it's higher now. I know because they say that they're because of COVID, you're forgiven or whatever, but you're still paying interest, you know? And they did say they could lower my mortgage payment, but with disability, it's very irregular. Like you counting on the doctors to fill out the paperwork and send it in and do it right. Because sometimes they don't do it right. So then there's another couple of weeks that they fix it. And then I went 6 weeks without a check. Yep. And my husband was working and we were like making it, but very, very, it was a little scary there. So, but hopefully, Bootsy, that works out for you, that the mortgage payment works out for you. Um, I wish, and I can't tell them, yes, I can make a payment right now. I can't because if I don't get a check for the next month, I still need to pay all my electric, my gas. I need to pay my cell phone. That is a need now, not just a want. That is a need. The first thing that would go if we couldn't afford it is cable. And my husband would just, oh my gosh, he would not be happy about the cable. Adrian says, it's hard out there. Hope you find something. Me too, Adrian. I'm going to have a positive attitude about it. I don't know if that's going to help with the anxiety, but I'm having a positive attitude about it. So we'll see what we see today. Hopefully we can see something good. But and Brandy said, hey, beautiful Jamie. So yeah, after I get done here, we have an appointment at 4. So we're gonna go. That's what we're doing today. And so and my mom lives in a mobile home, and she said she doesn't have dogs, but she said they don't count the cats where she's at. So hopefully that's here. Brandy said, you got this, girl. Thank you, Brandy. Woo woo. I got it. I got it. I'm gonna get it. I'm being positive. I'm being positive. It is very likely I will not be on next week on Wednesday. If I put up a notice, I'll put a notice up. But if I don't, you know why. It's because I'm still recovering. I am going to sleep as much as I can. I want to heal the best I can. I want this knee to work really good once I get it put in there. Jamie said, Crystal is amazing. Thank you, Jamie. You're amazing too. Everybody's amazing. And if you didn't see my shirt, check it out. I told my therapist about you. I pay my rent because without the house, the other bills mean nothing. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Rent would be first. We just don't, if we paid the rent, we wouldn't have enough money to pay the other bills. So right now on disability, we cannot afford this house. But once I go back to work, it'll be just like it was when I was working. We'll be able to afford the house. So, yeah. Yeah, I totally understand that. So, I don't know if we'll be renting or buying. I don't know the situation. We'll find some more information out today. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you for sending prayers. I appreciate everybody in here and all your support. I do. It means so much to me, and it will help me with my healing and my attitude. And, I just feel so much better. I love you, friends. Gotta go. Hugs to all. Have a great day, Brandy. Jamie says, I love everyone here. We do love everyone here. You live in Monroe. Yes, Patrick, did I say that? My sister says I give out too much information online. So yes, I do. I'm sorry to hear things are so uncertain and overwhelming. Grateful you are able to remain positive. Yes. Thank you, Frugal Mama. And it's from, going into everybody's channels and seeing how supportive they are and um, just I mean, it helps. YouTube helps. If you let it help you, I think it does. And I think most of us here would agree with that too. Are you staying in Michigan? Yes, we're staying in this city. We love where we live. We're not interested in moving to a new city. He still works and I still am employed at my job. I'm just on disability, so I have every intention of going back. So we will see what happens. So, let's see. It's 2:56. If you guys have some more questions or you want to post some more comments, we can talk for the next 4 minutes. Let's see. Much love to everyone. Life is hard and we need support from others. Absolutely, Adrian. Absolutely. Yes. You could move to Indiana. I see, Jamie, but no, we're staying in Michigan. But you're much closer now. So I'm very excited about that. Jamie's moving closer to me. So when I go visit her, there will be a vlog. Trust me on that. Be safe, everyone. Absolutely. You guys have a great day. And thank you for coming to the live. I always appreciate you so much. And this always helps me out. I hope it helps you too. Chatting with other people, hearing their stories, and all the things that we do here. So I don't know what else to say about it. But yeah, I love Wellness Wednesdays. It's one of my favorite days. So I am going to let all you guys go. I thank you so much for coming by, and your input and your support is greatly appreciated. And I love chatting with everybody. So that being said, I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody. Bye.